Sydney. Oh, let me enjoy the rainy season. Today we have some rain in Arizona. So perhaps people have not joined. They are enjoying rain. Many years ago, I would say 20, 25 years ago, I had a young guy who was only 5 feet around and having 130 or 140 kilogram weight. Very obese, very fat. He loved me, always in meditation. Always, he used to attend all my sessions. So the moment I started speaking, within few minutes, his head down and he started snoring. So I used to say, what happened? No, sir, I was paying too much of attention, I was totally absorbed. But you were snoring. No, sir, he was not able to recognize it. You change the topic, and today's topic is perhaps that what is practice? How to reach to that state of the practice where we can attain that state of emptiness so that in the mind, then that real self reveals itself. And same thing used to happen with that guy in meditation. So there used to be 25, 40 people in India, and then he started snoring, used to disturb. But he had a commitment that I realized. So when I started giving the practice of meditation after the talk, I used to be very near to him. Because I observed the moment his breath rate changes and he may fall into snoring. Because normally, in sleep, your breath rate becomes little deeper. So the moment his breath rate changes, I used to press his hand. So he used to return into a conscious state from the snoring. And it happened for about 3 months, and after 3 months he realized that I fall into unconsciousness. And he was successful. So we do not know how this mind will play its tricks to prevent a meditative state. I take it for granted, I was absorbed, my head falls down, I started snoring, I'm totally absorbed. So what is this problem? The mind totally sits in the body. When the mind completely sits in the body, absorbed by the body, then the mind behaves like a matter, and that is one of the greatest obstacles in the path of meditation. And those who know the yoga discipline, Jerry, it is the tamasic mind loves the body, to be with the body, to identify with the body. It doesn't want to divorce the body, and that is why we have this problem. There was another guy, I remember, he was only 35, 36. There is a $20 billion company in India. In those days, I think, it was Birla or someone. And this young guy was the CEO of the company, even at the age of 35. Sometimes that my native language is not English, and sometimes it becomes difficult for you even to understand what I'm speaking. He used to correct lot of mistakes that I used to speak during the practice of meditation. So his focus used to be how to correct me, not learning meditation, not listening. Very hyperactive. I'm just laying a foundation of today's principle. Earning a lot of money, he reached to that state even at the age of 35. And he came to me because he had 2 heart attacks. That was the problem. So his doctor suggested him, that was known to me, that you should go to this guy who will help you to relax and calm. Perhaps that will bring a change in your mind, and that will prevent the 3rd heart attack. Just after the practice, he used to be totally relaxed, calm, because he had a very high IQ. He understood it. But just after the practice, his nature returned. The old habit returned, hyperactive. Body started visiting, he started speaking, and he used to note down, I made a mistake in my expression 5 or 7 times during the talk. I'm sorry to say, after a few months, he died. Even he got a 3rd heart attack. So from where I started the talk, you made a conscious decision to divorce the mind. Very good. That is the first step. But now I have to check whether the mind has divorced me or not. Why it does not divorce me? Because of the past impressions, because of my habit, because of my impulsive nature. I have to get rid of it in order to make the mind empty. So we started, we said, Patanjali says, this master says, what he says, that regular practice with wisdom. That was the first principle. And that wisdom means that I should be able to separate real from the unreal. Like the obese guy used to know, no, sir, I'm in meditation. I was totally absorbed. You see, regular practice with wisdom, with clarity of understanding should be there. Then only we succeed. Otherwise, success is not there. Second point, this young guy. So those who are in the field of yoga, so that mind is dominated, dictated by Rajoguna, the hyperactivity. Always in action, that mind can also not be made empty. So in the second sutra, we understood last week what exactly it means by the practice of meditation. Practice even of asana means, is there a steadiness in the body? Practice of pranayama means, is there a relaxation in the mind when you are doing some practice of breathing? Same thing applies. That in meditation, practice means the mind has to return to the 4th state again and again and again. Once the mind knows how to return to that state, then nobody can prevent you to succeed in meditation. So now comes the principle. Yeah, there is something more. I can pick up a little bit more. So I talked about Satoguna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. So when we say satoguna, it is of the nature of knowledge. Knowledge takes place in the intellect with clarity, with conviction, and with awareness. The mind should not interfere. If the mind interferes, the mind has not divorced me, then that knowledge is polluted by the mind. Anything that is inert. What is inert? How do you define the inertness? The phone cannot know me and cannot know itself. Anything that cannot know itself and cannot know others is what is the meaning of inert. So it contains tamasic guna. You refer to that obese guy snoring. Hey, you were snoring? No, sir, I was totally absorbed. Inertness. So when the mind lives into that state of inertness, then only we cannot succeed in meditation. Another guy, 35 years of age, 2 heart attacks. And question is, why I am getting a heart attack at the age of 35? Hyperactivity. The mind is constantly active. Another guy I remember, I don't name the person. Sir, when I get a grand idea about my business in meditation, that is a good thought. Should I keep it in meditation? What do you say? I have to make my mind empty, whether it is a good thought or a bad thought or a negative or a positive. Content is a content of the mind. That will make the mind impure. We need emptiness. You see, a rationalization. This rationalization is a cheating by you to yourself. It will not work. Meditation. Can I eat a breakfast in the restroom? Do it whatever you want to do. So do. I cannot say anything. But that is not meditation. So we are going little deeper. So the Rajasic Guna, activity comes from the Rajasic Guna. So what the master says, a beautiful. Patanjali says, Satu dirghakalam nairantaryam satkar sevito dradbhumi. The 14th sutra of Patanjali. So he says 4 aspects. To get rid of these challenges of the mind. First thing, practice regularly. Second thing, continuity should be there. Third, commitment should be there. Fourth, intense aspiration should be there. Intense aspiration should be there. Our culture, the moment we wake up in the morning, hey honey, how are you? And we kiss each other. Indians are a little bit shy. Do we kiss? Do we kiss our real self by remembering when we wake up in the morning? That begins the intense aspiration. I'm picking up briefly. It's a long discussion and understanding. So our master says that when you sleep, all our desires also sleeps. The mind has made it a habit. The moment we wake up, those desires also wake up. What is intense aspiration and commitment? The moment we wake up in the morning, the first thing, the first thought, the first idea should be the goal of life. That is self-discovery before any desire takes over my mind. You do it minimum for a week, and the next week you will see the result. The first thing that comes, is my mind empty? Have I divorced the mind? Yes, the mind is calm and empty. And then what will mean the commitment? Let me resolve. I will keep that calmness behind all my activities, thought, speech, and action. Just will it couple of times. So, meditation is not 1 hour practice. Meditation should enter in our life day to day, from moment to moment. So, first is a practice. Practice means I should do it daily. I should not break it. When it breaks up? So simple. The moment I wake up, desire also wakes up. And because they did not divorce me yet, so they will take over me. And then I say, today let me skip it. I have lot of things to do in the world. Who does it? You. If you are not calm and you say that you have to do lot of things in the world, what does it mean? You want the most beautiful watch, you want the most beautiful phone, you want the most beautiful home, but why you don't want the most beautiful mind? Ask yourself, why you don't seek the most beautiful mind? And the most beautiful mind is empty mind. So that is why the Master says, intense aspiration, intense desire to divorce the mind, so that one day the mind will divorce you. In order to help mind divorce us, traditionally I think we have 1,000 practices, small tools. Should I give you one tool and before we begin the meditation? I just, it came to my mind. It is in one of the very old text which is known as Puranas. There are 18 Puranas. Because the mind moves to the desires with an image, thought, image, feeling, intent. Thought, image, feeling, intent. You see a beautiful girl, everything is okay unless you have an intent, an image of a passion. Now remove the image of a passion. Girl is beautiful, that's all. Remind me, so we'll take it. I remember that's a beautiful, it will take some time to remember. So ultimately what happens by these two examples, the mind sits in the body. Body is a matter. Matter is inert. Hence what happens? It creates a great obstacle. How you can break it? By practice, by continuity, by commitment, by intense aspiration. Hyperactivity, same thing applies. Another instant, another example, we have to remember what is commitment. Think of it and then do it. intense aspiration. Intense aspiration works at the thinking level. Thought. Do I really think of meditation, or I become very serious when we attend a group session, and after that mind becomes non-serious? That is what I said. The calmness should be working behind every thought, speech and action. How it happens? Master says, I'm not saying, that is the beauty, I leave all the responsibilities completely on you and the teacher who says this principle. Satu dirgha kalam. Dirgha kalam means for a longer period. Longer period means that you don't break the commitment to yourself to discover your real nature or to live, think, work in peace, happiness, love and wisdom that comes from within you. That is your commitment. That is why you are doing the practice. Nirantaryam, continuity, satkar, with respect, with commitment. That is the meaning. Satkar, sevito dradabhumi. So then what happens? This mind, which does not want to divorce you, is ready to leave all its content. Goal is emptiness. Let us start our journey of the practice of meditation now. I'll give you that in the next session. Eyes are closed. Looking inside the heart. I am. Say I am and become aware who the hell this I am is. Is it body? You see that I'm helping you to progress into meditation. So is it body? No. Eyes? No. Senses? No. Breath? No. Mind? No. Intellect? No. Thought? No. That who is this I am? So because the mind cannot know it, so our master says this I am is existence. Existence is one by which everything exists. The moment you say I exist, he exists, she exists, it means all comes from the existence is one. That existence is I am. See that. Then the second, I know I am. What is this I know? Feel, sensation, knowledge. This is all consciousness. That is why the phone cannot say, I know I am. I can say, I know I am. Means it is pure consciousness. In that consciousness, the waves are, I feel, I sense, I don't know, feeling, sensation, knowing, looking, and all these words become synonyms. So what? I am existence and I am consciousness also. Because I am existence, that is one. Because consciousness cannot be divided, hence I am in Ananda, the joy from all sides. That is my true nature. That is the goal of my life. Looking at the body from the crown of the head to the toes, becoming aware of the body and experiencing the steadiness in the body. According to Patanjali, sthir sukham asanam, relaxed and poised body is asana. For meditation, we don't need headstand and other attractive postures. What we need behind every asana? Steadiness, relaxed. In that state, the mind can look within. So look inside the head in the space. My friends, for any activity in the world, you have to move the body. See how easy the meditation is. When the intellect understands it clearly, it gives the order to the mind. Don't you understand? And the body remains steady. The mind is looking inside the head in the space and become aware of a point in the space. Very good. Now, start breathing. Little deep, silent and slow through both the nostrils. You should not be in a hurry. First breath little deeper, second breath deeper. And now, as you inhale, the breath is the car, mind is the driver, and where it drives? In the space inside the body. Why? Body identification needs to be dropped to achieve success in any meditation. So as you inhale, move the mind inside the right arm, from the shoulder to the fingertips in the space within. We are checking. Either you can say you are practicing or you are checking. And as you exhale, the mind moves from the fingertips to the shoulder in the space. The mind is constantly identifies itself with the space. It identifies with any thought. Mind is not empty. See that? I'm not giving you, any magic or trick. The magic trick doesn't work when we say we are meditating. Enjoying that movement. Now move inside the left arm. So we are leaving what is inert. That is what we discussed. What is inert? That is tamas. And we are balancing the action. What it means? Rajas. We are adding an element of sattva, knowledge, wisdom in the activity. Why? To make the mind empty. Simple. Now moving the mind inside the right leg. In the space, you remember. You see, the mind cannot express, especially the meditation part. So I'm simply saying move the mind inside the right leg. But the main thing is the mind identifying itself with the space within or identifying with the thought? If it is thought, it may take you to act like an obese person or like the young guy. Now inside the left leg. Beautiful. Now inside the spine, from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Understand. And we all agree, we understand that we have to divorce the mind. And we also work on it. Question is, does the mind divorce me? If yes, the body will remain steady naturally. You need not to force it. You earn it. And the mind does not sit in the pranamaya kosha. That leads to activity, hyperactivity, fully busy, running all the time. And I'll leave that step. We will go in a passive way. So what exactly? We are putting the seed into the mind to see the other side of the spectrum by this mantra. So singing and listening is the first part. When you listen, listening is the sound, even though the words are uttered. And when you listen, you're listening to the sound. Sound has no place. So it gives a clue to the mind. Here it is. So the first line, singing and listening. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. So your mind gets absorbed in the sound. And now singing, listening and meaning. Simple meaning of the swastir means let there be a well-being everywhere. That mind will divorce you easily when you do it with a meaning. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. 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 Now applied knowledge. What is that applied knowledge? Another meaning that you should understand, that this well-being, the state of well-being, is the part of existence, integral existence. So we need not to do anything, we need to recognize it. Sarvesham shanti swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir Sarvesham swastir Sarvesham swastir. Second line, singing and listening. You listen to what you sing in your mind. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Now singing, listening and meaning. Simple meaning, peace. What is that peace? Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. 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 Now singing, listening, meaning and the applied knowledge. What is that applied knowledge? Just see that behind your body there is peace. Behind the breath there is a peace. Behind every being there is a peace. And so on. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. 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 Third line, singing and listening. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Singing, listening and meaning. Purna means completeness. Every day, at least even for 5 minutes, ask your mind that I am complete in myself. And then check if the mind does any activity. You'll be surprised that this mind stops and it doesn't want to leave that steadiness and calmness. And you are doing all your activities outside. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. 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 Singing, listening, meaning and the applied knowledge. What exactly is the applied knowledge? What is the essence? That essence should be settled in the intellect to guide the mind, to guide the sense organs, to guide the body, to think and speak and act in our daily life. We start living in meditation. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. 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 When this intellect is settled in the completeness, Masters promise us that this mind will not take any action that will cause any pain and suffering. That is the power of the mantra. Fourth line. Singing and listening. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Mangal, singing, listening, and Mangal means auspicious. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. 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 And now the third stay singing, listening, meaning, and the applied knowledge. So in that Mangalam, auspiciousness, when the intellect triggers the mind with the well-being, completeness, and the peace, there is always an auspicious moment, every moment in life. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Couple of times sing. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. This week, every day in the morning, when you wake up, imagine that now you woke up from the sleep before the desire takes over you. What? Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. And then see that well-being. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. See that peace. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. See that sense of completeness. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Just visualize before going to bed. So remind me, then I will talk about what I wanted to talk from that Purana. Only then it will work. So again, you are going to sleep. So what you are saying to your mind, don't sleep with the desires in your mind. Sleep with the well-being, peace, completeness, auspiciousness. And then take this to your daily life. Before you talk, speak, act, well-being, completeness, peace, auspiciousness. before you cook your food. Just imagine. The mind works with that imagination. Mind imagines pleasure is in this food where there is not. So when the mind is imagining the wrong stuff, why shouldn't the mind should imagine the right stuff? In that state, walk the mind from the crown of the head to the belly button, singing mentally, Om Shanti. So you are seeing Om Shanti. That is the key. You see, we added everything. You are extending for a higher meditator. When you extend the period of Om Shanti, even in one session, it is also known as doing it for a longer period. So again return at the crown of the head and walking without the breath. You bypass the body and the breath. Body, inertness. Prana, rajoguna. Moving in, satoguna. See that? That is what our master is saying. Do like this. Now walking the mind from crown of the head to the heart, saying Om Shanti. What is Om? My real nature. What is Shanti? Its expression. What is existence? Water. What is its manifestation? Wave. And also the flood. Then it is Rajtik Guna. See that? Om Shanti. We may experience the fluid mass of peace starts descending from the crown of the head down into the spine and spreading into the whole body. You see, I mixed up a lot of steps from the different groups of practices to accelerate the process. Now inside the forehead. So how such a small distance, how can I say Om Shanti? That objects, the mind objects to it. You say it non-verbally. Sometimes you say, I know, I mean it. But you don't say, what do you mean? Same way, from the crown of the head to the forehead inside. So don't be fooled by your idea that you have read eyebrows center. There are 300 center inside the forehead. Anywhere you can walk. And do nothing, remain as you are. The state of doing nothing is the state of knowing. The state of knowing is devoid of a knower or an object. In that state of the knowing, in the mind, reveals the real self. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand. A beautiful meditation, perhaps you all practiced. And bring your mind to the left hand. Lift your both the palms. Place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. How are you, David and Jerry?
Yeah, very good. At the beginning, my mind was very busy and very active until I made the conscious decision to divorce my mind. And then at that moment, then I felt everything just dropping into this bliss. And it's kind of been consistent the last few meditations where we're just going to this state of nothing. It was
beautiful.
It was very good. Thank you.
This is what is known as a satsang. You are listening to the teacher. What the teacher has, teacher doesn't know anything. It comes from the traditional wisdom. So sometimes the intellect picks up the word, understands, oh, my mind is busy, let me divorce it. And everything falls into the right place. This is what happens. Beautiful. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, the message of divorcing the mind today was very, hit me, and I think sometimes our mind tries to disturb our peace, and we just have to divorce those ideas that the mind might have and take us down these crazy paths, and you just divorce it. So I like that. I'm going to use it.
Yes, use it, yes. That's a beautiful. Beautiful. One of
and
my... Continue.
Well, I'm very committed and clear on the path. I don't have any doubts. So.
Beautiful, Jerry. That is what brings the result. I don't want to say the name, but one of my friends learnt for about 2 years, and after 2 years he divorced and he remarried. That is the problem. No, I'm saying in context of the mind, not in context with whatever you do. That is your outlook. That is your decision. And now he is very shy to talk to me. It means he has some wisdom, what he has done. I'm not paying him. In fact, he is paying me. So, how are you, Daniel?
I'm fine. So for me, today, my mind was clean and clear.
Very good.
I was still waiting to be divorced. But my mind was still with me, so I'm not sure what really divorce means for me. But it was clean and quiet, and nothing disturbed me during the whole meditation. So there was like constant level. That was interesting and new to me.
Very good, Daniel. One of the problem comes is that we see our real self, but we don't recognize it. So there the teacher helps you through the teachings. Why I made that statement? When you said your mind is clean, clear, recognize it. Recognize it. Very good. How are you, Lara?
I am good. It was very quiet. At one point, I started to get like this little, I don't know, it was like a figure or something that came into my awareness, and I tried to direct it, and I was like, detach, so divorce, and then just go back, and I just went back to my breath, and then it was really quiet the whole time. I heard everything, but but my voice didn't feel like engaging and singing, so I just stayed with that and just heard the words and listened and absorbed it that way.
That's a beautiful... That is what the pure mind is. We should recognize it. Everybody's mind is pure. Simple. How are you, Stephen?
I'm good. It was very, very, very quiet. Just moments of just peaceful. I did feel some heaviness on my chest, especially during the singing in the mind of the Sarvasham mantra, which was great. I find myself singing that song in my head throughout the entire day.
Beautiful.
So it's nice. It keeps me calm and centered. So it was no different in today's meditation. So
yeah, This is what does it mean by regularity, commitment, intense aspiration. When the mind in the background is living into that state. That is another expression, the way what Daniel was speaking about, and Lara and David and Jerry. Beautiful. How are you, Sam?
Now?
Yes, now.
Okay. Oh my gosh. So today I had done a meditation last night where I was listening to the Sarvasham and was laying down, and I was sensing the different frequencies of the sounds coming in. And so today, what I noticed is that when you had us breathing, I was looking at the colors in front of me and creating images of, the breath coming down and up my leg and up and down my arm. And then when you started singing, I was just looking at the different frequencies and shapes that were coming into my mind. So it was almost like a kaleidoscope, if I could explain it that way.
Okay.
But I was trying not to, judge it or create any unnecessary meaning out of it. And it was just beautiful. I was just watching different colors and shapes and frequencies. And that was it. And it was very quiet. And I was, at the end when we stopped everything just went to a blank, bright orange. Calmness. And I was looking at it, and that was it.
We will talk about imagination. When you experience sorrow, suffering, pain, duality, reaction, this is all the imagination in the mind. So we have to choose right imagination and wrong imagination. So I appreciate he chose right imagination. He associated those colors with the mantra. And that also helps the mind to divorce itself. So that becomes another meditation practice, but this is okay. I approve it and I appreciate it. And younger people have such mind. So that also needs to be understood. How are you, Terry, my friend?
I'm good. Mine was also very quiet, and I'm very tired, but so I was just listening and
being there.
Yeah, just not doing anything particular, just listening and staying there.
Yeah. That's really good. That's good. How are you, Sangeeta?
सर बहुत पीसफुल है और मंत्र का उच्चारण बहुत अच्छा लगता है और एक पॉइंट पे बॉडी में से जैसे हीट निकलती है वैसा फील हो रहा था.
She felt as if the heat is coming out from the body, is being released, and her mind is fascinated by the mantras. No doubt, this is deeper. Traditional wisdom says, I just, think over it. Traditional wisdom says that pure consciousness, real self. Then comes where it comes. Just let me give you an idea. So from there it comes that cosmic ego. From cosmic ego comes our individual ego. Individual ego down to the mind. Mind, then the space. Space, then air. Air, then fire. Fire, then water. Water, then earth. So imagine. Now imagine. That's what the Sam says. So that is another practice. Just you can do it in mentally, even with eyes open. Let the matter or the earth merge into water. Water merge into fire. Fire merge into air. Air merges into space. Space merges into mind. Mind merges into individual ego. Individual ego merges into cosmic ego. Cosmic ego merges into the real self. What is left is the real self. Nothing else. That is our nature. That's a very another way to meditate. But just think of it. You need not to meditate. Just think of it. Now there is no body. Body. What is body? Consists of 5 elements. So it merges, and ultimately what is left? Existence. That is what the real self is. That is all for today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.